Numpy is a Python library which is used for working on arrays. It has several functionalities to work on things like linear algebra, matrices, mathematics. It is one of the most used library by data analysts and data scientists. Hi, my name is Rohit, and in today's video we are going to cover how you can use Numpy library from Python. Let's get started. So Numpy array are really useful in Python for performing mathematical operations. So if you compare Numpy with Python list, so Numpy would consume less memory and it is definitely much faster as compared to the list implementation of Python, and it is very convenient to use. So when you are working specifically on problem statements related to the data science, or when you are building machine learning models like neural networks, so in those cases Numpy is really useful. Now let's get started. So you can import Numpy package using import numpy as np. So np is just a short form you are creating for referring Numpy package anywhere in the code. And this comes with the default installation of Anaconda. So you won't have to install this package separately. Now let's try to create a Numpy array. So for that you have to do np.array. So np is the short form that we are using for referring the Numpy package. And then from Numpy we are calling array function. And to that we are passing a list for which we want to create a Numpy array. So if we create this array and then print the type of this array, it would be a Numpy array. And then we can also print the content of this array using print statement. So this is how we have created a Numpy array. We can also create a multidimensional array using Numpy. So it doesn't have to be just like a single dimensional. So here we are creating an array with 2 rows and 4 columns. So similarly we would do np.array, and then in brackets we would pass the 2 rows which we want to create as an array, and then we are just printing the shape over here. So if you see here, the shape is 2 by 4. So you can use the shape functionality within Numpy to know the shape of your array. So array is the name of variable dot and then shape. So this would tell us the shape of this array. So in this case it is 2 by 4. Numpy array is really useful for the matrix operations. So you can even create matrices using the Numpy array. So here what we are doing is we are creating a 3 by 4 matrix using Numpy array. So same way like we did in the previous example, we are giving it example of 3 rows and 4 columns, and then if you print the shape of the array which is getting created, you would be able to see this. We can also print the content of an array using print command. So print array, so that would give us the content of the array. So you can see this, whatever content we passed here, it's printed over here. So we are able to create a 3 by 4 dimensional array using the Numpy. We can access the contents within array using the index. So if you pass just a single number, then it is going to access the row. So in this case, if you do array 2, then it would print the 3rd row because the indexing starts from 0. So if you come here 0, 1 and 2. So that's why if you do array in square bracket 2, it is printing the 3rd row in that particular array. You can also do indexing by giving the position of row as well as column. So here if you do array 2, 1, that would take 3rd row and 2nd column. So 3rd row is this, and the 2nd column in this is like, this is the 1st column, this is the 2nd column. So that's why we are able to see 60 over here. Even for the columns, the indexing starts with 0. That's why for column 1 we are able to get value 60 and we are not getting 50 over here. So remember this indexing in array. We can also change the shape of array using the reshape command in Numpy. So let's create an array here. So we are creating a 3 by 4 array and then we are printing it. So if you see here, this is the array that we have created. Now if you want to change the shape of this array, that is possible using reshape command. So we are just calling a reshape function on top of this array and we are passing it the size we want after reshape. So we are saying that now reshape this array 2 sides, 4 rows and 3 columns. And then after that, if we print the reshaped array, you can see that we are getting now a new array which is having 4 rows and 3 columns. So this is how you can also use reshape command to change the dimension of your array. So then in Numpy, you can also do something called as array flattening. So in this, what happens is you're converting your multidimensional array into a single dimensional array. This is specifically useful in the neural networks. So here we are again creating an array using Numpy. We are creating a 3 by 4 array. And then after that, we are flattening that array using reshape function. So if you call a reshape function on array and then pass it a value -1, that would result in a flattened array. So if you see this output, here we are converting this 3 rows 4 columns array into just a single row array. So this is also called as a 1D array or a flattened array. So you can do array flattening in Numpy using a reshape function, and you have to pass -1 as a parameter to flatten the array. Then Numpy also provides functionality for sorting array. So if we have created any array, now let's create an array and we are giving various numbers in it, 23, 43, 5, 8, 90, 100. We can sort this array using Numpy. So you just have to do np.sort. So we are calling a sort function from Numpy here, and then to it we are passing our array, and you can see here that we are getting the output which is sorted. 5, 8, 23, 43, 90, 100. So this array is sorted in an ascending order using the sort function in Numpy. Then in Numpy, we also have functionality for generating random numbers. So this functionality would be useful when you have a use case where you need to generate random numbers in certain range, right? So for that, you have to first import random functionality within Numpy. So you can do that using from Numpy import random, and within random there is a function which is implemented called as randint. You can use this function for creating random numbers. So we are calling a function randint, and to it we are passing number 100. So what this would tell to this function is it has to generate numbers in the range of 0 to 100. So by default the start number is 0, and you have to pass the end number, which we are passing 100 over here. And then we are also passing a size parameter which tells how many numbers we have to generate. So we are saying size is equal to 10. So in this case, the function would generate 10 random numbers in the range of 0 to 100. So if you run this, you would get 10 random numbers generated in the range of 0 to 100 using randint function. Then as I mentioned before, you can also do mathematical operations using Numpy array. So for example, you can do dot product using the Numpy array. So now let's create two vectors in the form of 1D arrays. So we are creating vector A and we are passing it values 1, 2, 3. So this would be our first vector. And then we are creating vector B and we are passing it value 4, 5 and 6. So this would be our second vector. So the dot product is basically you are multiplying the two vectors based on their dimension. So the first dimension is 1 over here and it is 4 over here. So it would be 4 into 1 plus 5 into 2 plus 6 into 3. So this is what happens basically in case of a dot product. So this implementation is already there in the dot function within Numpy. So you can just call a dot function np dot, and to it you can pass your two vectors. So we are passing A and B to it, and in this way you can get the dot product between two vectors using Numpy. So the output would be 32 based on this calculation, which is happening at the backend in the dot function. Then you can also do transpose, the matrix transpose operation using Numpy. So here again we are creating an array, or you can call it as a matrix using Numpy, and then we are transposing it. So transpose is the operation where rows get converted to columns and columns gets converted to rows. So this is the variable in which we are creating this matrix. So on this variable, if you call a function transpose, so array.transpose, then you would be able to convert this array or transpose this array using Numpy. So this is our original matrix, which is having 3 rows and 4 columns, and now we are transposing it to 4 rows and 3 columns matrix. And after transpose operation, every row would be converted to column. So our first row is 1, 2, 3, 4. It got converted to column over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the second row, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, it got converted to second column, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is called as a transpose operation, and we can do this transpose operation using Numpy. Thanks for watching the video. In the next video, we would solve some problems using the Numpy library in Python. That would help you in developing your problem solving skills. Keep coding in Python and keep learning. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.